1921 was a pivotal year in shaping the modern world. The aftermath of World War I continued to reshape borders, governments, and societies. It was a time of peace treaties, revolutions, and rising ideologies. January 1921. British partition proposals in Ireland. The Irish War of Independence was still ongoing. In January, British Prime Minister David Lloyd George introduced proposals to partition Ireland, creating Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland, aimed at pacifying growing violence and nationalist demands. Significance. These proposals laid the groundwork for the eventual Anglo-Irish Treaty. February 1921. New economic policy. Debated in Soviet Russia. Vladimir Lenin and Soviet leaders debated urgent economic reforms to save the collapsing Russian economy. The war communism policy had caused widespread famine and rebellion. Lenin proposed the New Economic Policy, NEP, allowing limited private trade and small businesses. Significance. A temporary retreat from full communism that helped stabilize the Soviet economy. March 1921. Kronstadt Rebellion. Crushed sailors at the Kronstadt naval base, once loyal revolutionaries, rebelled against Soviet rule, demanding democratic reforms. The Red Army, under Leon Trotsky's command, crushed the uprising. Significance. A turning point that revealed cracks within the revolution itself. Even loyalists were rejecting authoritarianism. April 1921. Reparations Crisis in Germany. The Allied powers demanded Germany pay 132 billion gold marks in World War I reparations. Germany protested, calling the sum impossible to pay. Hyperinflation began spreading across the economy. Significance. Deepened the Weimar Republic's crisis and paved the way for extremist politics in Germany. May 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre in the United States. One of the most horrific acts of racial violence in U.S. history took place in Tulsa, Oklahoma. White mobs attacked the prosperous black neighborhood of Greenwood, known as Black Wall Street. Over 300 African Americans were killed, and thousands were left homeless. Significance. A stark reminder of systemic racism in America, long hidden, but now acknowledged as a national tragedy. June 1921. First woman takes seat in British Parliament. Nancy Astor, though elected earlier, formally took her seat as the first woman in the British House of Commons. Represented the Conservative Party, advocated for women's rights, social reforms, and temperance. Significance. A landmark moment for women's political empowerment in the UK. July 1921. Chinese Communist Party founded in Shanghai. A group of revolutionaries, including Mao Zedong, founded the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. Inspired by the success of the Russian Revolution. Started small, but with a clear ideological vision. Significance. The beginning of a political movement that would eventually reshape China's future. August 1921 Adolf Hitler becomes Nazi Party leader. Adolf Hitler officially became the leader of the Nazi Party, NSDAP, in Germany, took full control and restructured the party around his radical ideas, promoted nationalism, anti-Semitism, and anti-communism. Significance. A key step in Hitler's rise and the eventual emergence of Nazi dictatorship. September 1921. Washington Naval Conference proposed. The United States proposed an international naval disarmament conference to be held in Washington, D.C., aimed to prevent a global naval arms race. Involved major world powers like Britain, Japan, France, and Italy. Significance. A diplomatic effort showing America's growing role in promoting peace and balance of power. October 1921. Mussolini's fascists gain strength in Italy. Benito Mussolini's fascist movement gained momentum across Italy. Black shirt militias violently targeted political opponents, gained backing from industrialists and conservatives fearing communism. Significance: signaled the dangerous rise of fascism as an alternative to both democracy and socialism. November 1921. Washington Naval Conference begins. The Washington Naval Conference officially opened, attended by the US, Britain, Japan, France, and Italy. Discussed military limitations and peace in the Pacific. Significance: one of the world's first successful attempts at arms control and international diplomacy. December 1921, Anglo-Irish Treaty signed. On December 6, the Anglo-Irish Treaty was signed. Ended the Irish War of Independence, established the Irish Free State as a self-governing dominion within the British Empire. However, Northern Ireland chose to remain part of the United Kingdom. Significance: a major step toward Irish independence, though it triggered a civil war in 1922. Key figures of 1921. Vladimir Lenin, Soviet leader and architect of the NAP Adolf Hitler. Emerging Nazi leader Benito Mussolini. Fascist movement founder Like, Share, and subscribe to explore history, 1 year at a time. Comment below. Which 1921 event do you think shaped the modern world the most?